spreads, totals, props. Lots of ways to win money, but also lots of ways to lose. It's time for some sharp analysis. All sports, all over the globe, all the time. Home of the Guess Better jackpot, it's CorBET. Here is your host, Dylan Corbett.
All right, an OG CorBET squad here. Matthew Cruz and myself, Dylan Corbett. We've got week 1 college football, so we had to put something together. I'm still trying to figure out, we're going to have the Guess Better segment, but of course we also want to do every week of college and NFL pro football. So we've got some plays for you. Ty Dawson cannot be with us tonight, but he has, stolen some cappers, some Twitter cappers picks and sent them in as his own. So we'll read those off to you at the end of this. So I've got 7 plays. Matt, how many plays for you? Maybe we'll just go one each until we rattle off ties.
I think about 4 or 5 college football and 2 ponies.
Love it. Yes. Got to get the ponies in there. I'm watching Osaka right now. US Open has been electric.
I have Mertens right now.
Yes. Is she about to cash? I'm pretty sure.
5 in the second set. She got the first. They're at 40-40 right now. So I'd rather finish it.
We're recording this here on a Friday night, and we're watching possibly North Carolina just provide a stinker at Blacksburg. They're down 7. It's getting late. Boston College tomorrow, but I can't find that line anywhere. So I'll start with my first bet as fading Jim Harbaugh. Michigan week 1, Harbaugh's gotten the longest leash ever, but I think Western Michigan, if you tell me which team's going to get up for this matchup, Western Michigan, I'm taking Western Michigan there. This is their Super Bowl, a chance to stun Michigan at their place, 16.5. Let's keep this at 2 touchdowns. That's my first play.
I have a similar theme play that I'll go into now. The school has had the same type of lack of success as Michigan, and that's Texas.
Yeah.
Fading Texas. New era, new regime. Steve Sarkisian. I can't say his fucking
Sarkisian,
name.
yes.
Sarkisian.
Sark.
Yes. Him. Louisiana Lafayette is +8. Louisiana Lafayette's season win total is 9.5.
Yeah, decent program.
They're a good team. You don't know what you're going to get in Texas. I just feel like every year, week 1 of the season, it's Texas just lost as a double-digit favorite. Michigan just lost it. Those are the schools that have just been underwhelming significantly. So I'm going to start there, and hopefully the Texas era continues as it has the last handful of years.
Right, and how about the era of AP, kind of the Associated Press, overvaluing teams like North Carolina? If they lose, that's a bad loss to Virginia Tech, who's going to be a middle-of-the-pack ECC team. Maybe they can bounce off of this. USC, let's keep fading some trendy people. Clay Helton, he's on the hot seat. I'm actually not fading USC, but I'm taking the over because San Jose State, this is their second week already. They played in week 0. Over 60. I think San Jose State can score 30. They had 45 points, albeit against Southern Utah. But let's see if they can maybe make USC sweat a little bit, and maybe it's a shootout. So I'll take that over 60.
I have Wisconsin -5.5. I wish I would have taken this line earlier in the week because they opened at 4. It's gone towards Wisconsin each day. I just think they're a better team. Last year was a discard year.
I know, so hard
in the Big Ten specifically. Those schools played anywhere from 4 to 7 games, some of them. And I know Graham Mertz was out for a while, so Graham Mertz is their guy. I believe he's ready to roll. Shout out to Stu Feiner, but yeah, I like Wisconsin there. Penn State's underwhelmed the last handful of years as well. 2 years ago, they're good, but that's when they lost to they were undefeated. They lost to Minnesota here week 8 or 9, something like that, as a 7-point favorite. So.
Right. I've got a couple of totals I'll just rattle off here. I'm taking the over in Oregon State and Purdue, kind of a non-conference decent matchup right between the Big Ten and the Pac-12. Over 68.5. I took this a little bit earlier in the week, but let's hope for a shootout. And then FAU, they don't have Lane Kiffin no longer. Florida, let's see if they can just absolutely stymie them with their defense. It's under 52 for me in that one. What's your next play, Matt?
Sure, I'll go my last 2.
Sure.
Cincinnati -22.5. They start the year in the top 10. as a school who thought they should have been playing in the playoff last year. They lose their defensive coordinator, who's at Notre Dame now, Marcus Freeman. I still think they're going to be really good in their school that all year, every week, they are going to try and blow teams out because it just makes them look better on the resume when we're talking about them at the end of the season. Next, I guess last one here.
Sure.
Other than the horses, but Alabama minus 19.5. They're opening up against Miami. So, I have two more. They're opening up against Miami, one of the better games of the day. Miami trending in the right direction over with Manny Diaz the last few years. But come on, Alabama.
I'm going to be interested.
You don't get rich betting against Alabama. I'm not saying they cover every week. They don't. But more times than not, you want to be on the side of Alabama. Last play, I know you're in on this too. I'm pretty sure we're on the same side, but I'm Clemson -3 in the primetime game. I'm all in on Clemson this year. Ooh, almost a pick in the Miami game. All in on Clemson this year to win it all, plus 400. My boy DJ Ugalele, Uncle Lou is what I like to call him, to win the Heisman, plus 800. And then tomorrow night, -3 to start the season. A lot of pressure on Georgia this year. We'll see how they come out.
I love that because on the other side of things, I don't trust JT Daniels as much. I know he's getting all the hype, but it's kind of like his coach, Kirby Smart, all the hype, but then not the championships to show for it.
Right. Is this the year that they change it and air it out because they've played ball control in that like the last few years, and you're not going to beat Alabama like that. So allegedly they're going to come and air it out. It's going to be a new look Georgia team. We'll see.
What's disappointing, and it's just how college football goes, whoever loses this game is still going to be in the thick of the conversation if they just win.
This is the best possible time that they can play.
Yeah, exactly.
They're assuming you win the next 10, then your loss was as far away as it could have been against likely another
great opponent,
undefeated team. So like whoever loses, it truly doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm Clemson -3. I took the over too. It's a little low, 50.5. I know it's an SEC defense. Clemson's a good defense too, but but 4 touchdowns for each team. I think I would hope for a shootout.
Especially with what Georgia says they're going to do.
Right. I've got a stat of the day for you here, as this is kind of crazy. I saw this on ESPN. Georgia hasn't lost a season opener since 2013 when they lost to Clemson. Yes, let's go Clemson. All right, let's get the ties plays out here. He's on Cincy with you, is going against us with Georgia. We'll see about that. What are some other ones here? He's got Nevada plus 3.5. He's on the over in Texas A&M, which is Jimbo Fisher's season debut. Kentucky to roll against an inferior opponent, -31. What do you make of Mizzou this year? He's taking a -14 in their opener, which is a kind of a short line.
No idea, to be honest.
Yeah, they've got Central Michigan. I know they come to Boston College, so I'm going to be locked into that in week 4 or something.
I took 2 season win totals for college football.
Yes.
Both overs. Boston College.
Yes, sir. Lock.
7, I believe. Or maybe
7. Yeah, 7.5. Yeah,
7.5. And then I took the Gophers over 6.5. I looked at their schedule. I really think they're going to be 6-1 after week 7.
Were you impressed last night?
I honestly was. Assuming Mo Ibrahim tore his Achilles and is done, that is a big loss. At the same time, yes, it is running back the most replaceable position, but in college, running back matters a little more, and like he's truly one of the best 5. So, I mean, that'll hurt. But, yes, I was impressed. They kind of played how I expected, held their own. Their defense has been shaky forever. But
yeah, they had the lead, in the third.
They were good in the first half, so they showed something there. Yeah, I really think they'll be 6-1 going into – they could very well end up 7-5, but the way the schedule plays out. So I feel pretty good about that 6.5.
Last thing for Ty, he's got New Mexico State, the over 51 in that game. And then we are opposite each other in this game, which is interesting. LSU, he's on them -2.5. I've got, the opposite side, UCLA plus 2.5. My reasoning for that, I'm not a Chip Kelly believer in any way, shape, or form, but, he did his job against Hawaii. I'm more of a fader of fading Ed Ogeron, Coach O, since Joe Burrow. Unimpressive last year. What are we expecting here as they travel west? So a road trip game, the Rose Bowl, UCLA, Pasadena. Let's see if they can actually get off to a 2-0 start under Chip Kelly to start a season.
Burton's cash, by the way. Shout out Gino on that plus 145.
Yes.
I looked at that. I guess I didn't look that closely because I didn't know where it's at. So it's at UCLA.
I believe so. Yes.
Then I would lead them as well. I do think LSU bounces back this year. And I looked at that line. I was like, maybe, but no, not if it's out there. UCLA will get it done on the road.
And interesting note about the attendance was apparently they were disappointed with how they opened against Hawaii, which also too is like Hawaii was on the road and they're only good when it's like 11 a.m. at night or 11 p.m. at night. But so now they're like basically giving away tickets to their boosters, trying to sell like, hey, LSU, let's do this. Let's fill this place. Should be interesting. That wraps up college football. Let's get your thoughts. Notre Dame, FSU, and into the ponies.
Not sure what to expect for this Notre Dame team, and it is going to be a tough test. Sunday night, we'll see. This season kind of has the feels of that. The last time they opened on a Sunday night was against actually none other than Texas. Texas beat them like 52-48 in an actual shootout. Notre Dame was like 5-7 that year. I have a weird feeling that it could be like this. I just think the ceiling is too low on this team with Jack Cohn at quarterback until he convinces me otherwise. There's no way in my mind that they can compete with Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, Oklahoma with him playing quarterback. I hope he proves me wrong. The defense will be good. They lost guys, but they'll still be really good. Offensive line, they'll be really good. Their running back, Kyron Williams, is a like preseason All-American and one of the top probably 15 guys in the Heisman odds. So we'll see. They have weapons. Oh, and they have another. I mean, tight end university. They have another guy he'll be a sophomore and he'll be a first-round pick in 2 years. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited for the game. I love that it is Sunday night because it's all the attention on them. So I'll definitely be locked into it for sure.
We'll be locked into that Labor Day weekend. Something you were always locked into. It's the Horse Whisperer. Let's get your pony picks, Matt Cruzen.
Of course. So some big, there's stakes races every Saturday now, every Sunday, but a couple bets I already play. So these are fixed odds. They're not going to move from now until they start off. First one at Saratoga, the Saranic Grade 3 Stakes. We're going public sector at plus 140. Irad on the mount. That's a Chad Brown horse. Morning line 6-5. I think he goes off at like 4-5. So I think I'm going to get some better odds there. And then a little juicier out at Del Mar, the John Mabee Grade 2 Stakes. We're going maximum rate at plus 400. Juan Hernandez on the saddle. That one honestly could go off anywhere like 5 or 6 to 1. That horse, I think that's the second favorite right now. So should be a good one. We'll see.
Week 1 college football, some big stakes races in horse racing. The U.S. Open sports are back, baby. So are we. Matthew Cruz and I'm Dylan CorBET. CorBETs getting a little college football competition getting started here. We'll do like most units or whatever since we have different number of picks. Best of luck betting this weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.